And joining me now live via Skype are Jim and Belinda Karahalios. Hello. Thanks for taking the time to be with us today.
Hi, Ezra. Great to be here. Thanks for having us.
Well, my
Thanks, Ezra.
pleasure. I watched your mutual interview. I guess you sort of interviewed each other over the Thanksgiving long weekend. And I thought it's interesting, but I thought there was also a lot of news in it. The idea of creating a new explicitly conservative political party in Ontario is news, but it's much more powerful news if that party starts off with an actual elected representative. And Belinda, that's your plan, I take it, is to be the first MPP in the new Blue Party.
Yes, that's correct. Currently, Ezra, there is no party in the Ontario legislature that is defending the taxpayer, defending places of worship, defending small businesses, none promoting or protecting freedoms or democracy or fighting political corruption. And that's what the new Blue Party stands for.
So if I understand from your video yesterday, you have the name pre-approved by Elections Ontario, so they won't strike out that name later as being too close to another party or confusing. So you have to go through the effort of getting, I think, 1,000 electors to sign a petition saying, yes, this is a new party. Now, Jim, you're pretty good at the emails and the websites. I can't imagine that getting 1,000 signatures going to be hard for you. Is that something you can do online, or does it have to be people signing by hand a petition or something?
Well, every time you do something like this, Ezra, it's a new challenge. We should be able to get 1,000. It doesn't have to come from a certain number of ridings. And as far as we know, it could be physical form or scan. There's also the option, if there's a snap election, we run 3 candidates, we get registered, or we work with another existing party to do some kind of a merger. We've already had petitions coming in since last night. Pleasantly surprised, caught us off guard. They're coming in. We haven't had a chance to count and see how many we've received. But there's a lot of support across Ontario for a party that represents the values that Belinda discussed, and a party that doesn't agree with all the other establishment parties on every major policy issue.
Now, Belinda, I know your former caucus colleague, the both of you are on the outs now, Randy Hillier. I very much appreciate his principled take on things. It didn't surprise me one bit when he was given the boot by Doug Ford. He's a bit of a dissident in his own way, like you guys are. Have you had any communications with him that you're at liberty to describe? Because one MPP in a new party is something, but you have 2, all of a sudden, you're a bit of a thing. You can have caucus meetings. You maybe one day might even get some sort of a budget from the Speaker's office. I don't know, maybe you sit next to each other in the provincial parliament. Have you talked to Randy at all, or at least are you able to tell us if you have?
So in order to get any type of benefit in the legislature, you do need to have 12 people. So if Randy were to join, we'd be another 10 people away from that. But as far as I know, he's still part of his PC board. I don't know if his intention is to run again, but always open to conversations.
Yeah, we support Randy, and he's been through a hard go with this Ford government. He was a loyal PC caucus member for 14 years, fighting some of the underhanded things that we saw under the prior leader. Got the turf very early on under Ford, under bogus allegations from Ford's backroom boys, and so we support him. So if he makes the announcement he wants to run again, even as an independent, Ezra, we would support him. It'd be great to have him on side and have Belinda and him as 2 MPPs as part of the same party in a united front.
Mm-hmm. Now, Jim, we've been following you for some time now, most recently in your campaign to become the leader of the federal Conservatives. That ended when the party disqualified you, banned you, fined you in a closed-door hearing. We objected to that, just like we objected to the other candidate, de Carey from Quebec, being thrown out. My point of view is, in a Democratic Party, let the members decide. But that is how your fate ended there. And you had similar internal battles with Ontario's PC party under its former leader, Patrick Brown. I think it's good to be a dissident. I regard myself as a dissident, but are you a builder also? And I remember I asked you a question to this effect when you ran for the federal Conservatives. You're a critic, which we need. We don't have enough of. You're you bring a focus to shortcomings. But are you a builder also? Can this be more than just a party of the people Doug Ford kicks out?
Belinda and I are builders, Ezra, and you'll know that it's largely the same people in the back in the federal Conservative and the Ontario PC party when it comes to internal party races. If we weren't builders, Ezra, we wouldn't be in this position. If we were running and finishing last, whether it was Belinda's nomination, me running at a PC convention, or in the federal leadership, they'd ignore us. So it's exactly the fact that we're not just critics. We were asking for the PC party to abide by their constitution, their processes. They're the ones that are offside and going rogue with just basic democratic things that they promised the members. And we were able to build movements and become a threat, and they went after us. If we weren't builders offering solutions, they would just leave us alone and ignore us. And if we weren't builders, Ezra, in the 2018 PC leadership race, all 4 candidates wouldn't have agreed with axe the carbon tax, take back our PC party, cleaning up the party.
That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.